Team Junkyard Dog here today, and we have a surprise, or rather a very late decision. And this is what we're doing. This is our lineup for the bot battles coming up in Oak Hill, Florida. You have Tyrone, you have Big G, and you have Zeke. And then we're also bringing That Didn't Hurt. That Didn't Hurt. His old body has been retired. So we had a decision to make. And Mark, being new to the competition, he wanted to start with Zeke as a wedge bot and then grow into a weapon. Well, he has decided, and we decided as a team, that he wants to be weaponized. What we're going to do is, we're going to make this is now going to be That Didn't Hurt. Big G and Tyrone. And what we're going to do is build a whole new bot from scratch with 1 week before the competition, and it's going to be like a tilted horizontal spinner. It's time to get to work. And it's all going to start with this piece of plastic. Now what this piece of plastic is going to be is the weapon mount. We're going to have a bearing on both sides. I'm going to mill down the top edge of this so it will fit into the wedge. A bolt will come through as the motor shaft, which will attach to the blade, and on the bottom side we're going to have a pulley with a nut, and then off to the side of the wedge we're just going to use a brushless motor and then put a belt around the two. Nothing to it but to do it. Okay, so we got our little piece cut out. Like I said, this is the piece that's going to go through the wedge. You'll see this on the outside of the wedge. This will be on the inside of the wedge. And now I just have to cut recesses in these holes for the bearings. So that's going to be next. And there you go. Okay, so since we're not planning on very much defense, the weapon mount slash wedge is going to be made of aluminum, and we're going to cut it out of this piece right here. And so now what I have to do is cut a square hole in the top of this plate for this to actually come through where the weapon's going to mount, up here somewhere. There's the insert. We'll just bolt this to the wedge. We'll have a weapon mount, and then we're going to mount the actual weapon motor off to one of these sides. To be determined. And here we have the weapon mount on the front aluminum wedge. You can see where the bearings are actually going to slide in here. And on this side. And then the pulley. And this is the wrong size pulley. I'm currently printing the proper one. It's going to go through this way, and then the weapon bar is going to mount there. Down here, we're going to mount the actual motor, and we're just going to run a belt around the motor and around the pulley. That's going to give us our horizontal, angled, slightly off-centered weapon bar. Okay, so now we have a temporary motor installed. What do you think about that? But we're going to use a belt material, and we're going to make our own belt that's going to go around the pulley, around the engine, and back to this pulley, which should give it tons of speed if we need it. Let's get back to it. Okay, so we just got our belting material, which is like this little tiny rubber belt. I forgot what the exact material is, and we made us a belt. So now we're ready just to test this thing and see if it actually spins up. Let's do that. Booyah! Alright, so what we have over here, this is the guts for Big G, and we're just going to go ahead and hook this ESC up to his guts just to see if it's going to work. There's no blade on it yet, we're just simply doing a test. Yeah, you go ahead and power that up. Alright, let's see if it'll spin. Let's full throttle, no spin. Try again. Might be a bad speed controller. Poor connection. Is that it? There you have it. The weapon would be on this side. And this is the side that's actually going to be inside the robot. So this is how the wedge is going to sit. And the weapon will be spinning like so. So pretty cool. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, so we're making some progress on the new Zeke. And here it is right here. We've cut out the weapon bar. And you can see what the insides are going to look like. We're going to be switching to this Lynx Motion motor right here. And we're going to be using the Blue Robotics Basic ESC, which will give us forward and reverse on our weapon if we choose to have it. But what we're doing now is we're going to cut out the sides. And I just drew this and traced it on the plastic. Because we're going to have HDPE sides and then HDPE around the back here with an aluminum top plate. And this, for now, is where the wheels are going to go. So, let's go ahead and cut out a couple of these sides. Okay, so as you can see, we have our side pieces. We have 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to put another 2 in here, but now we have to fill in the back of the robot. Now, the wheels are going to go here, and this section back here. So what I have to do is I have to make the side plate out of HDPE that's going to go in here. What I'm doing is I'm taking this piece of cardboard and I'm tracing, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm going to make a cardboard template to trace onto the plastic. That way I'll only have to, I can mock it up with this. Once I mock it up in cardboard, then I can trace it onto the plastic and cut out the final piece. Let's do that. Alright, so we got our pieces cut out. Here's one. I'm going to call it the rear quarter. And here's number 2. And you can see this one has a C notched out. That is to make clearance for the weapon motor right here. So we'll go like so. Now all I have to do is attach these. I'm going to add a back plate, a top plate. That's just going to come over this part right here. And then we're going to mount our wheels right here. We're going to drill a 1-inch hole in this. And this is going to slide through where this is going to sit right here. Then how we're going to clearance the wheel. Maybe I'm going to cut this out. I don't know yet, but we're going to figure it out really soon. Only Team Junkyard Dog would decide to build a whole new robot 1 week before competition. We're about 3 or 4 hours in. I think we're doing pretty good. Let's see if we can get this thing wrapped up. Okay, and so here we are to this point. We have our motor mounts. We have our sides in. It's going to be really tight down in there for our battery. We're going to put the receiver and everything under here. And now we're going to make a top plate that's going to come down these 2 rails and down the back. And that's going to be Zeke's top plate. So let's get that done. We're 1 step closer. Okay, so will the real Zeke please stand up? Here he is. We actually have completed his chassis. You can see that it's an angled horizontal spinner with ball bearings, hardened steel bolt, belt drive, HDPE sides. Probably going to have TPU wheels. This is just a substitute wheel for mock-up sake so everybody can see what he's going to look like. So Zeke will be ready for this weekend. All we got to do is put some guts in him, a couple speed controllers and a receiver, and he will be ready to go. We're going to see you guys real soon. We're going to be doing some more build videos this week. Team Junkyard Dog, we're out.